episode of the RareForm podcast. This is a special episode, yeah, because I got my little crybaby right here, and then the big crybaby right there, and then the one who's responsible for both of them right there.
Right here.
Girl, can you cover your boob?
Oh, sure.
Oh, Lord. Hey, man, we promote
breastfeeding around here.
But that don't mean show the whole world the goods. God damn.
Breast is best.
Hey, man, being a mother, I guess.
Well, you just want to play with the mic. No,
so I just found out that that babies cry for no reason. Apparently, it's called purple crying phase. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing because she is apparently in the purple crying phase because she just cries. Oh, mama, you okay? Oh, baby girl, you okay? Yeah, she good.
Well, yeah, you might need it overall or in a second.
Oh, my girl. Oh, what is wrong? So, yeah, like I was saying, this girl cries for absolutely no reason. I didn't know it was an actual thing, and then she sent me the link to it, and it said it's called purple cry, where the baby can have everything it needs. It can be full, it can be well rested, yeah. She can be everything and just cry. Just because, you know what, I'm going to cry today. Mm-hmm. It's the craziest shit I ever heard.
Yep. Each letter in the word purple, it stands for something else. Stands for something. I forget what it stands for, but
so apparently parents used to. I guess it came about because of the shaking baby syndrome. Parents used to just shake the shit out of their kids because they didn't know why.
Well, that's what they found out after doing studying about what was causing shaking baby syndrome.
Yeah, and they found out that so they just basically tell the parents hey, ain't nothing wrong with your child.
Yeah,
just like to cry. It's cool. You just got to deal with it. It's just unfortunate because he didn't even do that.
Yes, he did.
I don't remember that.
You were asleep. I was dealing with it.
No, I was. Hey, man, hold on, wait. Don't put that out in the world. Hey, I was here.
Yeah, you were there, but you were asleep. He did it mostly. Oh no! Matter of fact, I have text messages from when I was at work.
Oh,
and
mama.
You were like, "Oh my gosh, he cried for whatever. He wouldn't take his bottle. I still remember me and Brianna. I remember telling Brianna sitting there with her and laughing like he's struggling. All this first time dad stuff is really getting to him.
Hey, no,
I remember. We can bring Brianna on.
Hey, mama. Nah, technically I'm not, but
I'm talking about when he was a baby. He didn't deal with you when you were a baby. You were already 2.
That dude be wildin', bro.
Anyway.
All that crying.
Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Like I was saying, he was breastfed. He was breastfed.
It's okay.
So having to keep him while he's breastfed and he's a newborn and you gone trying to go to work, which I was completely against, by the way.
He was not that much of a newborn. He was almost 6 months.
What you expect me to do, bro? The dude was just born, and you want him to just be like, all right, bye. If you his number one food source.
He had food. It was just in a bottle and not my boob. That's it.
That boy wasn't feeling that.
He was not feeling the nipples.
Man,
that's all.
Bro. People don't consider how dads feel. I felt completely helpless.
You just didn't know what was going on. I bet if you know now what you knew then, that it was just purple crying face, that you would be a lot more you would have handled the situation differently.
If that was purple crying face for him, then she in high yellow face. She in red. Nobody come near me face, because goddamn, boy.
You're the only one that can't console her. I can calm her down.
Bruh, you are her food source. She lived in you
and her best friend.
She lived in you for 10 months, man.
Yeah.
I can calm her down, and I don't have no food.
Listen, check this out. I can calm my baby down. Listen, what are you trying to say? Hold on, listen. We not gonna do that. Apparently, it's where your baby, for absolutely no reason at all, just cries. So they just wake up and be like, man, it's a good day to cry all day. And they just cry, bro. So they can like have everything. They can have they can be fed, they can be well rested. It's like they go to sleep and they get their 8 hours of sleep. They eat all, like, it's like crying is their job. They got to make sure that they're mentally ready to cry. So this child right here, the one that I'm holding, Birdie girl, all she do is cry.
Bruh, you're the only parent I know that sounds stressed even talking about it.
Bruh,
like
just
talking
cries for no reason, dog. She just cries. I've never in my life experienced it. My niece, my godchild Tanika, she cried like but I remember one day, like her mama, my sister, and my mama and so her grandmother and my other sister, they had went out. So I was watching her with her daddy, and we was in the house stressed out, bruh. She was crying the entire time. Like the moment that they left, she was crying. I'm talking about like we just handing her off, trying to figure out what we're gonna do to keep her from crying. We just like I'm doing all kinds. I'm singing songs. I'm bouncing her around. I'm rocking her. We doing everything in our power, and then her daddy, he's stressed out too. We just stressed out of that sucker, bro. So it was so bad. Like the moment she'll stop crying for a second, we just look at each other like give each other that look like, ooh. So everybody just keep still, like, and not do nothing. Everybody just keep still, dog. And then she just start crying again. And we'll look so deflated, and bro, it was horrible, man. We had to call her mama and have her come back to the house. Like, listen, bro, we done tried everything. I done did everything in my power, man. I done been dancing. I done been singing songs. We been rocking her. We done switched over hand in hand. We in there. They come back, man. I swear that's when I started going bald. That day right there is when I started losing my hair. Like I ain't never in my life experienced nothing like that until that moment. Now that you gave me a name for it, then now I'm like, okay. So she was in the purple crying phase. Mm-hmm. And now, since I'm experiencing it with my own child, they got to be levels to this. Because she ain't in the purple crying phase. She in the red exclamation point, high yellow crying phase. Because all she do
it's not
is
that
cry.
bad.
Oh, bruh. What?
She does not do that until you get home and, like, I need to go do something and have to hand her off to you or something like that.
Listen, bruh. This child.
All day long, she's cool with me.
Listen, that's because you're her food source.
she likes me more.
Listen, she lived with you for 9 to 10 months. She lived with you.
Yeah.
Like, y'all shared thoughts.
She still lived with me.
Like, y'all shared all of that. She be acting bad, but it's okay. In a couple of years, I'm going to be the favorite. I ain't really tripping. You can enjoy it right now.
I don't even think it's going to take a couple of years. I feel like in a few months, she's going to outgrow me. You're going to be her favorite person.
Absolutely.
It's going to be between you and Adriana, just like her brother.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's my little partner right there, though. Me and him
he like you as soon as you come home. And then, as soon
that's
as you come through the door.
That's what bugs me about, like, I see my kids, especially my son, every day. And I just don't understand how people cannot take care of their kids, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I don't get that. It's like I can be having like a long day at work, so I can be to work 12 hours. You feel what I'm saying? I get back to the crib, and I can be exhausted. And it's like at the moment I see him, like Dada, and he go crazy and he run at me. Like now I'm rejuvenated.
All that,
like,
yeah.
I don't care about none of that.
And it don't change too.
No,
Adriana's 12 now, about to be 13, and I was just having an argument. Well, I'm not gonna say argument, debate with someone. I'm not gonna name them, but they was talking about how they don't talk to their kid every day.
Huh?
And that they still have a relationship with that kid, with their kid, but they don't talk to him every day. And I was like, well, that's not the kind of parent I am. Like, Adriana's 12. I still, even when she spends the weekend with, her biological dad, I still reach out to her and ask her what she's doing, what she ate today. Like, did she shower? Like, I still want to know what she's doing.
Yeah, you got to ask if she showered now, because if you don't ask.
Stop playing with my kid, bruh. Don't play with her like that.
What? Is it true?
I'm going to start checking on you, see if you showered today.
Hey, listen, you ain't got to check me, baby. I shower every 3 days. Like clockwork. I'm joke. That's a joke. Yeah, that's kind of. It's kind of true sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. I be like,
Stupid. Oh my goodness.
I don't know, man. But it's just crazy, like, because I know being a father, like even before I became like a dad or stepped into a situation where I became a dad, like I just could never imagine myself not being there for my baby in some way, shape, or form. And I get it. Like, I'm not talking about the guys who have a hard time, being a part of their kid's life. Like, I get sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, like.
Yeah.
Even if
sometimes the situation is just really
even if you
trying.
Even if you do everything in your power, you go to courts and all of that. You do all this. Sometimes it still don't fall your way. I'm not talking about those guys who actually put the effort, but the ones who don't, man,
and have every opportunity.
Those be the ones that get the good baby mamas, bro.
Oh yeah.
the ones who are shitty dads or shitty parents, bro. Like those are the ones that end up with good baby mamas, man. I ain't gonna front, but I'm glad I don't have no baby mama. Like, bro, I couldn't deal with no baby mama. I didn't seen too much.
Even if I did turn out to be the baby mama, like if some reason we ended up not being together, like you would have a good baby mama.
Yeah, I know I would have a good baby mama because I see it from both sides. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't. And then I'm the type of dude that I'm with. Yeah, so ain't nobody keeping mine. Ain't nobody keep mine from me. We're gonna have to do what we gotta do, baby. I'm just saying.
No matter what we went through, like even if I was bitter about our situation, I wouldn't let it affect the babies because
and I wouldn't let you. Listen, I'm gonna pull up. I'm at school every day. I'm at the crib. Hey, where my chin at? Like,
I think we just have we've been friends for long enough. We still have like mutual respect for each other. Where as like parents, like. And we have different levels of respect for each other.
And you got to make sure you always put the kids first, too.
Definitely.
I think that's the issue with a lot of people. They put their personal feelings above what's best for the kids.
Exactly.
Like, in regards to how I feel don't matter.
Exactly. As long as my kids is happy.
As long as my kids are safe,
I'd even suck it up and be like, in the same room with somebody that I didn't like if I didn't like my kid's other parent, I'd suck it up and be in the same room with them, talk to them, whatever, just so my kids see like a healthy environment between their parents,
Like, I mean, that's how it's supposed to be.
I would, as long as the other parties will.
As long as there's respect.
Yeah. Because I don't tolerate disrespect.
No.
No way.
Yeah, because, we done had it. Now, I ain't going to get into that, but listen, we ain't, there should always be respect on both sides at all times. You know what I mean? I think a lot of situations could be better if there was always that understanding and respect that you have, with each other just as individual people. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, some of y'all got friends out there who don't take care of their kids, and
y'all don't say nothing to them. That's the problem.
I want to get this out of here. This is like, it's important for us to understand, like, there are more good fathers than shitty fathers.
Oh yeah, and I'm so tired of that stereotype that black dads don't take care of their kids.
Bro. Like that is everybody that's listening to this video, I guarantee you that y'all know more good dads than y'all know shitty ones. And I 100%. So if that's what bugs me. Like everybody, there's people who be saying shit. Like I've seen people who talk about like their babies' fathers or other people's fathers, or being a father, and
other people they know.
Yeah, and it's just like, but if it's their cousin or their brother, their brother's such a good dad. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like everybody, like we all know more good dads than we know shitty dads.
That's true.
We all do. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I know more shitty moms than I know shitty dads. That's just I honestly do. I know more shitty moms than I do shitty dads, bro. Like if we're keeping it a buck, like I do.
I feel like I know more moms that have shitty behavior, but more dads that don't show up. Like when they are there, their intentions are good and everything, but the mom, even though they're always there, sometimes their intentions are bad. So
wait. So what's better? An absent parent who doesn't traumatize you outside of them not being there, or a parent who's present but a shitty parent?
Well, I don't know. I would say the one that's there, but is sometimes traumatizing because you can go to counseling for all the trauma, or
listen,
work on your trauma the same way our whole generation is with our parents and our trauma. But you can't get back those time. Like, you still making memories with your kids. You still, but you can't make up for what you didn't have.
Yeah,
like,
I feel you, but I would much rather as long
as you're not like,
I'd much rather you leave, bro.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it depends on the level, though. Because if you just beating them, punch them in their face every day, stuff like that's not okay. No. But I mean, if you yell a little bit, tell them to shut the fuck up.
See, that's not all, bro. So like, but that's, I don't really consider that like that.
Some kids find that traumatizing, bro.
It can. No. I think there's a certain way you should talk to your kids, obviously, right? But at the same time, I'm talking about like there's some women out here that are mothers that are really, really bad mothers and bad people. Like, they'll get on the phone, talk crazy to the child's father in front of their kid.
Oh yeah, that's not acceptable.
They get into it with the child's father and then take it out on the kid.
Oh yeah, that's really not
okay.
okay.
Still have custody of the kid, get all the child support money and go get their nails done and their hair done and pay all the bills in the house, but the baby's still dirty and ain't got enough money to go on a goddamn field trip, but your nails is done. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's worse. I personally feel like that's worse because a parent that isn't
being absent.
Yeah, a parent that isn't there, the only damage they can do is not being there. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But like, I had I
feel like
I've been in a situation where I ain't have my parents. So, and the biggest thing trauma that I had to work through was seeing people who had their dad there, or at times their mother was there. You feel? And disclaimer, like, my mom was a great mom. I'm not saying that, but there was a moment where she wasn't there for whatever reasons because I lived with my grandparents, but when she was able to be a part of whatever it was I was doing, she always made it her business to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So that's just a disclaimer. Like, my mom was great, but at the same time, there's people who, who have the opportunity to be a part of their kids' life, and they choose to do other things, and sometimes that's not always a bad thing.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Because I would much rather be with people that are going to provide me stability, and then see my parent or my parent be a part of my life whenever they are in a healthy, good space
and can be present
with me. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I would much rather that than I'm staying with a parent who drugged out or doing all these different things and exposing me to different shit. You see what I'm saying?
All kinds of people in and out the house, all kinds of stuff.
I think being absent sometimes I think is better. You know what I mean? Because for me,
everything, I think it's situational.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's situational for sure, but I don't know, man. And it also depends. Like, I was fortunate enough to have positive male figures in my life to kind of counteract the the absence of my father at the time. So I think that makes a big difference as well.
Me too.
Because it could have a real shitty impact on someone who has nobody.
Yeah.
To feel those.
And I feel like,
so, yeah, like you said, it's a situational thing.
Sometimes people, when they have, it depends on, how absent the parent is. If they never met them, or whether or not they met them for a little bit, or they're that revolving door parent where, they're here sometimes, but then they're spend months or a year gone, and then they come back. Because I think if you just never met them, or something like that, sometimes you make up your own idea of who they could be, or stuff like that. And I don't feel like that's so bad as versus knowing who your parent is and feeling like they left you,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a whole different degree than never have knowing them and wanting but still longing to know what they're like,
Yeah. So what's your favorite part of parenthood?
My favorite part? Okay, my favorite part is seeing from they're little and they literally don't do anything to watching them explore their environment and seeing the world through their eyes. That's my favorite part. You get to see their different personalities like develop.
Yeah.
Like these two, although they're really close in age, they have very different personalities. Like she's already starting to show like signs of her personality where she just like cracks smiles randomly. Like she's really goofy, and he can be 1 second laughing and joking with you, and then want to switch ready. And just want to fight. He just throws his hand, yeah, and it's so funny.
I didn't teach him that,
and it's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, he be ready, and then he want to stop and give you a high five. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like he's a whole character in his own way. And I just even Adriana, when she was little, like she had so many different. She's always been the loving, caring one. She always wanted to take care of the ones younger than her, even the ones older than her. She always felt like she could take care of them, or she wanted to tell them what to do, or something like that. And
that girl just bossy, bro.
Bro, you gonna stop playing on my child, bro. You gonna stop playing on my child.
She has to be like, she's gonna have to be like a boss.
Oh yeah,
she has.
She don't like nobody telling her what to do.
For it. And I think
she has to be in control.
She has to, you know, which is, I think that's a good. I think some people are born for that.
Yeah,
you can tell. You know what I mean? So being a parent and nurturing that.
Yeah, but that's my favorite part of parenting. Yeah, like just watching them blossom in their environment and become like little people that have like their own little, like I don't know, it's amazing.
Hey, that's not a COVID cough, by the way. Hey, but yeah, I don't know. I guess my favorite part of parenting.
I was gonna ask you, what's your favorite part?
My favorite part of parenting, man, is handing them to you when they crying. It's just so easy because they just stop. I ain't got to deal. No, I'm joking. I guess my favorite part of parenting is just, I don't know, just looking at myself, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And seeing and being able to see and say, this is like a clean slate. It's like a second chance, right? I got a second chance. And it's not like to live through them, but to make sure that I'm teaching them all the things that I was never taught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And putting them in situations, you know, that were better than the situation that I have. So
yeah, and teach them the lessons that you learned the hard way, the way they don't have to learn it the hard way.
You know, so I think being able to see that and being like, okay, you know, that's literally me, right? So how can I got to make sure I give them the love that I needed, make sure I give them the attention that I needed, teach them the things that I needed. You know, I think just knowing that, I guess I'm all over the place, but I guess my favorite part of parenting is just knowing that for the first time in my life that I'm somebody's favorite.
Yes.
Like I'm that. And I guess that's a selfish thing, but knowing that someone is there and they rely on me and they just have that unlimited trust in me.
Yeah.
Never having that someone, you know,
and that unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
The way they look at you.
I think because that helps me. Like this person trusts me more than anything on this planet. I can't let this person down. So they give me that ability to constantly be motivated, constantly, you know, strive to be better, to do things, to be able to leave the world better for them. You know what I mean? And then teach them to make sure they leave the world better for the ones that come after them. Yeah. So I guess that's my favorite part. It's just that what they give me, you know, they give me more than I give them.
I feel like,
you know what I mean? And they for sure been saved. Man, since the Lord, because
oh yeah,
man, it'd been a few times where I want to crash out. You know what I mean? Recently, because they ain't that old. You know, and I being able to really have to think a lot and be like, okay, you know, it's not just about you. And I always felt like that with Adriana as well. But now it's like, okay, I got two little bitty ones, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like I can't.
I always told you it's a different feeling. Like you can love, you know, you can step up and love a child and do everything for them and be that parent that how I would say like North Star for that kid. But when you have your own and you witness the process from beginning, like you were literally in the room, like whether you was rubbing shoulders or, you know, standing back because you didn't want to get yelled at or what it was. Like,
this lady was violent.
Don't do that.
She was violent. I was not. No, she was like, she don't think that she told me not to touch her. Like the lady said, don't touch me. I'm like, all right.
This is what happened. I was scared. He thought he was massaging my shoulders. This is when I was in labor with Donnell. He thought he was massaging my shoulders. He was really pinching my shoulders. I said, please stop. He heard, don't touch me.
That's what you said.
Like, it's kind of how like the girls be getting told no and they hear you don't love me or I gotta move out or whatever the heck. You guys have seen those like memes and those videos and stuff. It was that situation. I said, please stop, because it was actually like, it was pinching me and with contractions and stuff. I didn't like it. So I tried to be mindful of not wanting to, you know, make you shut down. It was your first time being in the room with, you know, someone giving birth to your child. So I didn't want to shut you down, but I still wanted you to stop. So I thought about it in the moment, like, how do I get him to stop? I'm like, please stop. And I know for a fact that I did that because I was really conscious about it. And you heard, don't touch me. But I said, please stop. I swear to you on everything I love. I said, please stop.
No, you did not.
Okay, bro. I wish you would have, all that stuff you recorded from his birth, I wish you would have recorded that part.
Well, I couldn't record it because you both hands to give you a fire massage to make it help.
You was only rubbing with one hand, though.
Listen, lady. Listen. See how you remember all that. You don't remember.
Because just like I remember, I told you, please stop.
See, bro, selective memory, bro. How you was stressed out? You was giving birth to a baby. You probably couldn't even remember.
At that point, I wasn't pushing. I was just waiting to dilate.
The contractions.
Yeah, the contractions, but I wasn't in a contraction at that moment.
Listen, all I know is
I still remember it like it was yesterday.
With me.
Oh my goodness.
You were really violent.
You and your fragile male ego.
Fragile, listen, baby, listen. I got an ego, but it ain't fragile. I tell you that.
Yeah, okay.
Lord, see, that's the thing. The moment a man has a different point of view,
or talks about his feelings,
or says, or has a moment a man has a different point of view, or sees things different than his female counterpart, he's always
fragile.
Has a fragile male ego, or, you know, some of the other things that they be saying. You feel me? Why can't I just? And that this
you
is
see
this
it differently.
This
everybody's gonna experience every single moment differently because of different people.
This ain't got nothing to do with the birth experience. This is a side thing. But how come it's so hard for? Why is it so? What's wrong with having a difference of opinion and seeing things differently as a man than you do as a woman? Like,
nothing's wrong with that, in my opinion.
Shit, that's not what society is saying. Like, I think it's okay for us to. I think that's a healthy dialogue because it teaches me how to interact with people that might
disagree from me.
That might disagree, but might also think like you. It teaches me how to interact with you, how to communicate with you. And I think right now we're living in a world where everything is such a herd mentality. Everybody wants to be the same. Everybody wants to think the same. And if you don't like them, then they're going to crucify you. Yeah, they're gonna say all. It's always got to be
somebody's right, somebody's wrong. Like the whole agree to disagree thing, like doesn't exist anymore, which is crazy to me.
It's like there was I was talking to Travis, and we were talking about how when he was going through whatever he was going through, and the one person that he always disagrees with, they're like politics.
Tay-Tay?
No, not Tay-Tay. This one dude.
Yeah.
So they
Facebook.
Always disagree about everything.
He's been in Facebook jail like 13 times because of that guy.
So they always disagree about everything. And when he was going through that, he's the only dude that checked up on. He's the only guy that said, "Hey, you all right? Do you need anything? Whatever.
How you doing? Yeah.
How you doing?" But the ones that are all supposedly his guys, his boys, and all of this. Nobody checked up on him. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And that's just a prime example of people can disagree in a lot of things, but who you are as we need to start caring about who we are as humans,
as people. Yeah.
I can care less about, like, we can go back and forth about if you voted for Joe Biden, Donald Trump, if you're far left, far right. That's cool. We can talk about that. We can disagree.
But I still respect you as a person.
I still respect your opinion. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're a genuine person and you're not out here trying to, wish harm on anybody, I can respect you as a person, individual. Because you might care more about me as a person than the people that I agree with. Mm-hmm. And we see that all the time in politics, or when something major, quote unquote major, happens. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's like, oh, you got to be on this side. You got to be on this side. And the moment you're not on that side, then everybody's like, the hell with you. Like, just prime example, like when Stephen A. Smith disagreed with Colin Kaepernick, right? Stephen A. Smith is like a world famous sports analyst, talk show guy, for those of you that don't know. And when Cap took the knee, he disagreed with him taking the knee. And it wasn't the fact that he disagreed. He didn't disagree with his stance. Yeah. He supported his stance. He didn't support how he did it. Okay. Right? You see what I'm saying? And everybody tried to crucify Stephen A. Smith on TV.
Isn't he the one that also played in the NFL?
He ain't played no sport. Nah. He played in college or whatever, but a little bit.
He's the one that got the annoying voice.
No, you're talking about Uncle Shay Shay. Don't play with him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Don't play with him. But anyway, so everybody was, crucifying him because he said, he didn't agree with him kneeling or whatever. But everybody ignored the fact that this guy, again, is the most famous sports anchor in the world. Mm-hmm. So people ignored the fact that he went on TV every day and was like, Cap is getting blackballed. There's not enough people. You can't tell me that there's 64 quarterbacks in the NFL that's better than him.
He still don't have a job. Yeah.
He should be in the league. He defended him every day, saying that he was blackballed. He should be in the league. But the only thing people focused on was the fact that he disagreed with how he went about, his stance. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, bro, like, so y'all are trying to get this man fired. Y'all trying to get him canceled and all of that because he doesn't agree
because he thinks different.
Because he thinks different than you. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, this dude has been in media and sports and all of that for decades, since before we was born.
Has a valid opinion.
You know what I mean? So that means that he has been fighting for black people in that space since before we was born. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? But the moment he ain't on the same train as everybody else, all of a sudden, no, he's a coon, he's this and he's that, just because he thinks differently than you. And that's what bugs me, because right now, again, we're all in that herd mentality where everybody has to think the same way.
And they probably didn't even take the people that were trying to cancel him, and they probably didn't even take the time to understand his point and why he didn't agree, and just only heard, he doesn't support Cap, so we don't fuck with him.
And half of the people don't even watch sports. Like, the thing is, like, this is what they'll do. They'll put out one clip, not the whole thing, to trigger everybody. And then everybody's going to share that whole clip. And if you look at that clip is going to have 10 million views. But the whole segment of that, where he's giving this whole point, it's only going to have like maybe 400,000. You see what I'm saying? Because, people, I feel like now people want a reason to be angry. Like, if you're not a part of a cause, that's angry or that's causing some kind of disruption, then people aren't happy.
Or has somebody that you can blame or hate or something like that. Yeah. I had a friend that shared a Facebook post the other day, and it was like, if it said something along the lines of like, if you don't hate me for your own reasons, we can't be friends or something. Like, if you hate me for your friends' reasons, then I don't want you in my life or something like that. Or something along those lines. And I just remember commenting like, I don't even want those people in my life. Because I feel like if you hate me because of your friend's problems, you're actively trying to find a reason to be mad or be angry. Like, that's annoying. I ain't got time for that. I got so much stress from my life itself, from just life in general. I don't need those kind of people around me. I don't want them in my life.
Yeah, man. People be tripping, bro. Like, everybody wants to, like, I'm good.
Just trying to find hate or anger.
The only thing I want to be a part of is what I got right here.
Facts.
My family. I ain't going out my way to try to be a part of nothing. I ain't trying to be a part of nobody's club. I ain't going out of my way to be a part of nothing. I'm not gonna disrupt my peace or not be who I am or say what I want to say or do what I want to do so I can be a part of yours.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you got going on, I'm only, and this is what I try to teach my oldest kid is like, man, go where you're celebrated and wanted for who you are. Mm-hmm. If you need to be initiated in some type of way,
or change your stripes in any kind of way,
and
that's not where you're supposed to be.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about like frats or sorority. I ain't talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about in life when you're choosing your friends. And, you know what I mean? Like, if you gotta change who you are in order to fit that, if they're like, oh, you can't be, the only way you can be our friend is if you wear these kind of shoes.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Like, if it's a situation like that, then that's not the type of people you need to be around.
Definitely.
That's not the type of people you need in your life. Those people are temporary. You feel what I'm saying? Those people they're not going to be good to each other. Nope. Most likely those people aren't even good to themselves. That's not the type of people you want to hang around. You feel what I'm saying? And Lord knows we've been having to deal with that.
Yes.
With this one, boy, middle school is rough. I don't remember middle school being like this when I was.
Me either. Kid, and it seems like girls get cattier and more full of drama earlier and earlier each year.
Man, oh, bro, like I don't understand. Like, man, why y'all children act like that? Like, why y'all children go to school so angry, right? And wanna, like, why? Like, come on, man.
Everybody wants to blame social media, and I do believe social media plays a part. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like,
how you raising your child?
That's where it starts. It all starts at home. Like, and I'm not saying like my kid's perfect or anything, but she's not going out intentionally causing drama. Bro. She's not talking about your kid's shoes. She's not,
that's the
she's
thing. Like,
literally just going to school to learn.
Yeah, and if
she might be late to class, but she go there to learn.
Man, let me tell you, bro. Like, and if you gonna listen, bro, and if you gonna, it bugs me, bro. I probably shouldn't say this, bro, but if you gonna raise your kid to be an asshole and talk about people's clothes and shit, make sure they
know what the fuck they talking about, bruh.
Bruh, like, come on, though. Like, I remember my daughter one day. And this might be, but so a dude was trying to rib her one day. She went to school she had some ones on, man. It was a while back. And if you know shoes, you know ones. Man, we was living in Everett, I think. I can't remember where we was living, but. And a dude tried to joke on her like, "Oh, you got on Jordans; those are boy shoes." Bro, I just remember being like, I just remember telling her like, "Bro, like, don't even
laugh at those people, bro."
And then like the other day, like she went to school. She had on some like she got sneakers, like So
she got a nice game.
Yeah. So she went to school the other day. She had those
retro AIs.
Those questions, like the very first one, and they were the white, and they were like the metallic silver, and the silver part was kind of glittery, whatever. And she go there, and people are trying, like some people kept asking, like making jokes, like, what are those?
Like what kind of shoes are those?
Just and not even asking like in a way to be like, oh.
Like they were trying to play on her,
like trying to play on her. But so I told her, like, send me some pictures. Like,
take a picture of shoes.
Listen, all I'm gonna say
because we go there for our kids.
All I'm gonna say is, bro,
we those kind of parents.
If your child, come on, bro, like, don't do that. Come on, bro. That's all I'm gonna say, though. Like, come on, bro. There ain't no way in hell. Listen, man. Come on, bro. Like, no. Also, listen, man. I'm trying not to say anything. Luckily, she gonna strike him. You feel me? She gonna let him know, like, hey, hey, come on now, you got those raw specials
those water
on.
those.
Chill out. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But it just, what I'm saying is, like, we got to do better at, like, y'all got to do better. Sorry.
Yeah,
y'all
I know, for real.
At teaching y'all kids, man, like my kids understand, like, yeah, I like shoes. Like, I just like shoes.
Yeah.
I like clothes. I like certain things. So I make sure that my kids reflect the type of stuff that I like.
Yeah.
And then, my oldest, she's old enough to be like, okay, I like this, I like that. And she's able to get that. But there's never no pressure to get the certain type of things, wear certain type of things. And I always taught her, you know what I mean?
To like what she likes, don't like the brand.
Exactly. Like what you like and don't like the brand. But a person's value isn't what they wear. It's who they are. So even if a person comes to school and they might have on the same outfit that they had yesterday, what does that mean?
Exactly.
Does that mean that they're a bad person? Does that mean that they're a shitty person? No. That just means that their situation might be different than yours. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So if anything, you need to be a good person. You need
take off your shoes and hand them to them, or
trust me,
offer them a jacket if they're cold or whatever it may be.
Numerous times. So that's how I know. You know what I mean? Like, as a parent, that's how you know you're doing the right thing. Is when your kid, like, it's been times when my kid has given, but she's giving clothes to other kids, like shoes, whatever.
She comes home from school and I'd be like, where's this? Where's that? Oh, I gave it to my friend.
Yeah, because or she'd be like, Dad, one day, like, Dad, this, such and such doesn't have. Her parents don't really care about her. She doesn't have a jacket. Or whatever. I'm seeing the baby walk to school and the baby ain't got no jacket, so we go buy the baby clothes and jacket. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So it's important that y'all start teaching y'all kids to stop valuing that materialistic stuff. Right? Exactly. That's just all temporary. You know what I mean?
Or at least, like, assigning someone's character to what they wear.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, bro. Like, that's a big in our culture. Because I know when I was growing up, it was a big thing. Like, man, if you ain't got when them 11s dropped, when them Space Jam dropped, I remember when the Space Jam dropped, I remember when they had redrop, but I was probably in 5th, 6th grade. Bro, if you ain't had them things, boy, everybody was making jokes. Everybody was trapping you. Like, people gonna make fun of you, whatever, if you ain't have them. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like, people in our community, we put so much value on those things, man. And y'all gotta realize, bro, your kids don't care about that shit. They don't care about it until they start seeing how much you care about it.
Exactly.
And then that's when they start putting a big emphasis on that stuff. And then, and obviously, like, people gonna rib. That's part of our culture. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna joke on each other, whatever. But when there's a difference between ribbing and then bullying.
Definitely.
There's a difference. Like, I'm never gonna sit there and joke on somebody who I know their situation is worse than mine, number one. Yes. Number two, I'm not going to joke on you if we're not cool. Yeah. And number three, even if we're not cool, I'm not going to joke on you if
you're not participating.
If you're not participating and if you're not coming back at me with nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm not just going to sit there and keep belittle you.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's a big issue, bro, in our community. Like, we got to do better at that, man. Like,
although there is an exception. If I see you doing that to somebody else,
I'm on you.
Oh, I'm on you. Yeah.
You about to get it. Yes, indeed. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
and that person's not standing up for themselves, or they don't feel comfortable going back at you, I'm going to step in and I'm going to say something.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just tough being a parent. But I feel like, no. You know what? I take that back. Yeah, it's hard. It
comes with its challenges.
But I think if you just teach your kid to not be a shitty person, man, like, that's your number one goal. Like, if you can get your kid through to adulthood and learning that you shouldn't be a shitty person, I feel like you did a great job as a parent. So you should just go out of your way every day to make sure your kid knows that they should not be a shitty person. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that, then you succeeded as a parent, in my opinion. Because you got to realize, like, we're the older we get, the closer we get to our past.
Definitely.
Right? And the older our kids get, the closer they get to their past or get to us. You feel what I'm saying? So as we get older, the distance we're going to have between us and our kids, that time and that relationship is going to grow. It's going to spread out. We're going to get further and further because we got to realize the older we get, the closer we get to death. Yeah. So that's the closer we get to reuniting with our past, our ancestors, our whatever. However, if you're a Christian, you reuniting in heaven, or if you believe whatever, you know, that's the closer we get to our past and those things. And you know what I mean? And the older our kids get, it's the same thing. But as we grow together, we're getting further and further apart. So it's important, you know what I mean, right now, I think, is that we understand that our children are going to inherit the world with each other. Mm-hmm. So what kind of world do you want to leave for your kids? People always talking about, like, legacy this and legacy that. Like, my legacy is going to be that my children are great people. Definitely. Like, my children won't make your child's life harder. Never. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's my legacy, raising great people. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and great members of society. Absolutely. We get so focused on making money and all that and doing all that. Like, I get it. Like, obviously, we all want to make sure our kids are straight financially. But above that, they still got to be good people. My kids, number one, even if I die tomorrow, you feel what I'm saying? Or I don't have nothing for my kids. My kids, they hustle. They're going to always be able to get $1. My children, they get it honest. So they're going to know how to hustle and go get it. Get out the mud. You feel what I'm saying? But I try to focus on making sure that my kids are great people. Definitely. So whenever your child comes across my kid in the world, make sure they're great people too. Feel safe in the space with my kid, knowing that my kid isn't going to try to scam them. My kid isn't going to try to hurt them. Yeah. My kid isn't going to try to take advantage of them. I want everybody to feel safe. You know what I'm saying? And that's my job as a father, to make sure that, number one, my kids know how to protect themselves, because obviously the world isn't perfect. But, you know, that, you know, they're not going out there and making it harder for anybody else. And I think that's what we need to do, man. Like, that's what we need to start doing more, is focusing on creating good people and not on this materialistic shit. That shit don't matter. Definitely. I agree. I think Birdie agrees with you too. Yeah, little Birdie girl. Baby, she knocked out, boy, snoring. She be snoring, boy. You out here? She love her dada. But she be out, boy. She be out. Him too. Yeah, I mean, that booty milk do its job. That liquid gold. That dude be tripping, bro. Like, when he tired and he hungry, bro, he don't give a shit. He don't hear about nothing nobody saying. He ain't saying nothing. He start tripping. I be like, bro, I be having to be like, hey, man, chill out. Like, he be testing your gangster, bro. Boy, I'm telling you, hey, listen, the moment he get old or a little older, we putting them gloves on, bro, and we going to have to figure it out when he start tripping. Like, hey, man, go get them gloves, go get them things. You going to have to get in there. He going to tell you, fight? Yeah, we're going to have to fall in there. We're going to have to get a quick one in, because, man, that dude be tripping, bro, sometimes. I be wanting to be like, man. Like, because I talk to him regular, oh, yeah, me too. Like he grown. I don't necessarily talk to him like he's grown, but I talk to him like a person. Like, I don't be using all the baby talk and stuff. I don't do the baby talk at all. No. I don't want nobody talking to my children like that. Yeah, they're not. They're little people. Yeah. So if you communicate with them as such, then they'll learn to communicate with their peers as such, and so forth. You hot, Papa? Yeah, he ain't feeling that. Look, he's sweating. Yeah, he's hot. He trying to hop down. You ain't get down? Where his pants at? He don't got no pants on. He at home. You want to get down, Papa? Yeah, put down pants. No? Yeah, that was a quick nap, boy. You want to come back to Mama? You're just hot, huh? Say hi, Papa. I'm sorry. You okay? I'm sorry, Mama's hot in this onesie, so I'm making you hot. All right, y'all. But I think that's the cue. So we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. But I want to say, you know, I want to leave. So what's something that fix your mic there? What's the matter, Papa? What's wrong, Papa?
You want a nurse? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, you know, that boy said he trying to nurse, man. He ain't trying to hear none of that shit.
Anyway, what's one thing? What?
So, what's one thing you want to leave our listeners with?
I think. Okay, I'm gonna say two things.
All right.
One, pay attention to your kids, and two, like you said, focus more on raising good people, good humans, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all again next week. Peace.